everybody. I am here today. See if my microphone is on here. We are here today to talk about gratitude, the highest note on the scale, and why that's important. But I've been going live for, about 5 or 6 weeks, and I'm realizing that it's never live on Facebook. So we are going to just check that out real quick. This is the joy of being an entrepreneur and wearing all the hats. I've got to get to the bottom of this. If somebody is watching and they know how to resolve it, I am all ears. So it's not going to get solved today. That is okay. Okay, perfect. What about these headphones? You know what I was just thinking before I went live? These are probably antiquated. If you have your setup and you love what your setup is, it's not headphones anymore, let me know. I am all ears. But you know what I love about them is I don't really have to worry about my hair. So that's kind of a cool side effect of still wearing the headphones. So tomorrow is Thanksgiving. I thought it would be fitting to come to you today and talk to you about gratitude, but in a totally different way. I spoke on another coach's Facebook group last week, and she asked me to come in and give a little talk about gratitude. And things always, where do you get your ideas? They're always flying into my mind when I'm driving. I think it's because I'm really focused. I'm not thinking at all, right? So then it's kind of opened up this channel for ideas to flow in. And so this idea flew in about notes on a scale and frequency because everything in our existence, including us, is energy. If you're watching this, you know this by now. And everything has a different quality of energy, and that would be on a scale of frequency. So on notes, it's going to sound different, right, on a scale. And in the world with the different frequencies and energy, it's going to show up in your attitude, your perspective, the energy that you exude or that somebody exudes from their being is going to hold a quality. And so we're talking about today the quality of energy called gratitude. Now, a lot of times, you've come here, it's been a long day so far, you might be frazzled, thinking about a billion things. So sometimes it's helpful during talks like this just to sit back and close your eyes and get into a meditative state. When you close your eyes, you're letting go of one of those senses that we lean into so heavily. And you can start to tune in with your ears a little bit more and then let it really sink way down deep, way past your thinking mind. So, whether your eyes are open or closed, I want you to take a deep breath. Just let yourself settle in. Integrate. Now, imagine notes on a musical scale. Different notes are vibrating at their own frequency, their own unique frequency. And every note creates a different sound and possibly a different feeling in your body. Just take that visualization in. And now I want you to imagine instead of musical notes, this scale is made of states of being: joy, anger, frustration, peace, love, sadness, and gratitude. Each one is vibrating at their own energetic frequency. And each one creates a very different effect in your body, in your whole nervous system. So just take a moment and kind of go through those various states of being and tap into what it feels like when you're in that state of being. They change, right? The way your body feels changes, the way your mind operates, the types of thoughts, the quality of thoughts, that changes based on your state of being, based on anger or gratitude, for example. And your nervous system is taking in that data, that state of being, and it is functioning in a state that is going to try to get through the moment. So, for example, anger, frustration, it's going to be functioning in a higher state, taking up more energy. Now, I've talked to people before who debate whether love or gratitude is on the highest, you know, point of the scale, but it doesn't matter. Once we're up that high, whether it's love or gratitude, the state of being, either one is okay. These are the highest notes on the frequency scale. They're the highest vibrational states you can hold, love and gratitude. They are the frequencies closest to light, closest to your natural state of being, a light state of being. They're healing, they're uplifting, they're regulating, and they're restorative on every level of your being. When you practice gratitude, not just thinking about it, like tomorrow when you sit down, perhaps to have your Thanksgiving meal and everybody goes around, it's wonderful that you're doing that practice. But I'm talking about going deeper into, instead of that sort of second where you're thankful about a couple of friends or the meal you're having, you are starting to embody this energy. This energy is living inside you in a more permanent way. You are moving closer to expansion, to openness, to clarity, to peace, to receptivity, because you're embodying this energy of gratitude. And gratitude, have you noticed this? It lifts you out of worry and fear. It lifts you out of those notes on the bottom of the scale: fear, anger, worry. When you are in wonder and awe and utter thanks for whatever it is, maybe it's nature, the universe, your life, your breath that you're taking, when you are embodying utter gratitude for this thing that is happening or that exists, there is no space for worry or fear. So, by the nature of living in gratitude, you are not living in worry and fear. You don't have to be practicing any tools. You literally just step into the energy of gratitude, such appreciation and wonder and awe. And in that space, fear and worry and anger cannot live. Those notes don't play at the same time. So there is no complicated way to get out of the fear and the worry. It literally is built in to you living gratitude. So, how do you start to live and embody gratitude? Let's say the note you're familiar playing all the time is frustration or disappointment or anger or resentment. That's kind of the state of being that you've been operating in. And every part of your being is used to it. Even if it's not healthy for you, it's used to operating that way. How do you get up into that note of gratitude more often? Through practice. This is a skill. Just like, I'm taking, actually, I took my flute out from, I used to practice in or be in a band back in elementary school and junior high. And I've always wanted to pick that flute back up. So in the last 3 weeks or so, I cleaned it up and I started learning the scale again. Not only do I have to learn how to play the notes, but I actually have to learn how to read the scale. I am developing a skill, and it's the same thing for you in practicing gratitude. You've got to practice and be consistent with that practice so that you can take on the energy more and more and more. So, this is a choice, my friend. If you want to feel better in your life, make a choice to practice gratitude. If you want to feel peace, contentment, joy, practice gratitude on the daily. You've got to practice stepping into an energy that is different than the energy you are used to steeping in. You've got to train your nervous system to operate in that state of being. And in that state of being, by the way, your nervous system operates in a complete balance of sympathetic and parasympathetic, complete yin yang balance. One thing I do want to share is in any change and anything new that you're working on, you might feel some resistance. And what I have noticed in the last few years, coaching clients and myself is when we are operating in resistance, when you're saying, hey, yes, get me on board. I want to start practicing gratitude. I want to feel better in my life. I want to feel more peace. The resistant thoughts are very believable and they are rational and make a lot of sense sometimes. So, what are some of these thoughts? Might be, um, but I have every reason to feel stressed. But the world, it's so heavy right now. How could I ever live in gratitude? Well, there's so much going wrong. Or this is just how I am. I want you to watch for those types of thoughts. And you could allow the thought to happen in your mind, but you can also take action anyway towards gratitude. So maybe you're having that thought, but you don't have to believe it. Not every thought you have is true unless you believe it's true and take it on and own it and identify with it. So you could say, oh, there's that thought coming up. How clever. The mind wants to keep me in anger, but I'm going to practice gratitude anyway. So this is where your consciousness comes in. It's so important for your consciousness to step in front of the mind and start to direct the mind. So becoming aware that you're having those thoughts, then you can use consciousness to say, oh, my mind is trying to pull me down into those lower notes. I'm not doing that anymore. We're going to practice gratitude. Embodiment is the feeling you have when that energy exists in most of your cells. And so the more and more you practice, I promise you this, everything I teach is from direct experience and knowing. The more and more you practice gratitude, the more and more it's going to last inside of you, that this is going to be how you operate. Now, I want to give you a tool here. Every morning for the past, 15 plus years, the first thing I do when I wake up is I just do a couple gratitude thoughts. I'm very thankful for the night's sleep I had, regardless of how much it was. I'm very thankful that I'm here living this day, that I have this day to live. And I'm thankful for whatever experiences are going to happen to me ahead of time. So very quick, it's like as I'm rolling out of bed, you step into that energy. And usually lately I finish up with today's going to be a good day. Today is going to be a good day. Now, what I am also going to do is after I finish this live today, in the comments, I am going to paste some gratitude journaling prompts. So now you've got a tool that you can use. I use it in the morning, but you could just take a moment throughout your day to practice gratitude, have gratitude, thankful thoughts. And then you can do these regular journal prompts. And then the third thing I'll leave with you today is I have a 5-minute gratitude meditation on YouTube that is very powerful. I love this. I actually have one client who started sharing this meditation with her kids, and her younger son at night, he will actually ask for this meditation now. He wants to listen to it. It helps him wind down. I think he's like 8. Helps him wind down. So every one of us, no matter how old we are, have a natural state of being, of love, of gratitude, of those high notes of light. So even at 8 years old, he knows what inside of his being really wants. It's so beautiful. So I'll leave you the journal entries in a comment. I'll leave you a link to the 5-minute gratitude. And then you've got the thought, cultivating your just quick thoughts to lift you up. So there's 3 tools today that you're getting that you can practice every single day to start to live this high vibe life. Don't you want that? Look, give me a comment. Say yes if you want to live a high vibe life. If you're ready, claim it. Declare it to me, to us, to the world, that that's what you actually want. And if you don't want that, don't comment. All right, as we wrap up today, I want to invite you to a very special event that I have curated. I'm calling it the Incubator for Your Well-Being. It's happening online on my Zoom this Saturday after Thanksgiving from 12 to 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And it's a nervous system reset workshop. I cannot wait. I've talked to so many people over the last several months that are feeling frazzled. They are saying that they're overthinking, they are in indecision, they can't figure anything out. All of these things, overwhelm, all of these things lead to one issue. Your nervous system is on overload and it can't function to it. It's like a program. There's too many things running in the background. This program can't, the program is you. You can't run optimally right now because your nervous system can't take any more. So I cannot wait to offer you a grounding and integrative meditation to set the tone. And then we're going to do a deeper dive into some prompts that are not going to be included here in this live today. And that's really to come into deeper connection with yourself. We're going to do some gentle movement. Any body can do it. Gentle movement to get some energy flowing. And we then will finish off with a yummy somatic healing guided meditation to really let your nervous system reset and bring you back home to yourself. So I will also put that link in the comments at the end of this live today. I'm very thankful to anybody who came and watched, and I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving and step into the energy of gratitude. See you next time.